10th Science Chapter Chemical Reaction and Equation Boards Question Set 1 Marks 3. A reddish brown colored metal used in electrical wire when powdered and heated strongly in an open china dish, its color turns black. When hydrogen gas is passed over this black substance, its original color based on the above information. Answer the following question. A. Name the metal and black color substance formed. So the reddish brown metal is copper. When it is heated in china dish, presence of oxygen, black color copper oxide is formed. Second, write balanced chemical equation for both the equations. So, so the balance equation when carbon is heated in presence of oxygen is 2Cu plus O2 forms 2CuO. That is 2 carbon plus oxygen forms 2 carbon copper oxide. When hydrogen gas is passed over heated copper oxide, reddish brown copper metal is formed. That is copper oxide plus H2 forms copper plus H2O. Next, what is redox reaction? Identifying the substance oxidized and the substance reduced in the following reaction. First, lead oxide plus carbon forms lead plus carbon dioxide. So, those reactions in which oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously are called redox reaction. First, lead oxide is getting reduced and carbon is getting oxide. Second, manganese oxide plus 4 hydrochloric acid forms manganese chloride plus water plus chlorine. So Mn2 is getting reduced, HCl is getting oxide. What is rancidity? Mention any two ways by which rancidity can be prevented. The process in which taste and smell of food gets spoiled is called rancidity. It happens due to oxidation. Prevention from rancidity. Antioxidants are added to fatty acid to prevent oxidation. Example, chips are packed in presence of nitrogen gas, which prevents spoilage by oxidation. Second, food should be kept in airtight container in refrigerator. Next, write balanced chemical equation for the reaction that take place during respiration. Identify the type of combination reaction that take place during this process. And justifying the name, give one more example of this type of reaction. So, C6H12O6 plus O2 forms CO2 plus H2O plus heat. It is an exothermic combination reaction because heat is being evolved. Next, methane plus oxygen forms carbon dioxide plus H2O. Combustion of methane is another example of exothermic combination. Next, what is meant by displacement reaction, reduction reaction, combination reaction? Write a chemical equation for each reaction. First, those reactions in which a more active element displaces a less active element from its compound are called displacement reaction. Example, zinc plus copper sulfate forms zinc sulfate plus copper. Second, the reaction in which hydrogen is added or oxygen is removed or gain of electron take place is called reduction reaction. Example, iron plus 3 proton plus 1 electron forms 2 proton of iron. Third, the reaction in which two or more element or compound combine together to form a single compound are called combustion reaction. Example, carbon plus oxygen forms carbon dioxide. Next, why is respiration considered as exothermic reaction? It is because heat is evolved during respiration. B. Define the term oxidation and reduction. Oxidation is a process in which O2 or H2 is removed or loss of electron take place. Reduction is a process in which hydrogen is added or oxygen is removed or gain of electron take place. Identify the substance that is oxidized and reduced in the reaction. CuO plus 2O Zn forms copper plus zinc oxide. Zinc is getting oxide, carbon, copper oxide is getting reduced. Next, 2 gram of lead nitrate powder is taken in a boiling tube. The boiling tube is heated over a flame. Now answer the following. First, the state the color of the fumes evolved and the residue left. So brown color fume of NO2 gas are evolved and yellowish brown residue is formed. Second, name the type of chemical reaction that has taken place starting its balanced chemical equation. Decomposition reaction has taken place as lead nitrate forms lead oxide plus nitrogen oxide plus oxygen. Next, classify the following reaction into different types. A. AgNO3 plus NaCl form AgCl plus NaNO3. Uh, so, precipitation reaction, double displacement reaction is formed. Next, CaO plus H2O form calcium hydroxide. Combination reaction is taken place. C. 2C 2KClO3 forms KCl plus O2, that is decomposition reaction. Second, which of the above reaction are precipitate reaction? Why is a reaction called precipitate reaction? It is a precipitation reaction because one of the product form is the insoluble in water. Next, what is meant by precipitation reaction? The reaction in which two compounds exchange their ion and products form is insoluble in water is called precipitation reaction. Example, copper sulfate plus H2 forms copper plus H2SO4. Next, what is exothermic reaction? The reaction in which heat is evolved. Example, C6H12O6 plus O2 forms CO2 plus H2O plus heat. Third, what is oxidation reaction? The reaction in which O2 is added or hydrogen is removed or loss of electron take place is called oxidation reaction. Example 2C copper plus oxide forms copper oxide. In the electrolysis of water, name the gas collected at the cathode and the anode. So the following gases are collected at cathode hydrogen and at anode oxygen. Why is the volume of gas collected at one electron is double than the other? So the ratio of it is 2:1. Why are a few drops of dilute H2SO4 added to the water? So pure water does not conduct electricity. A few drops of dilute H2SO4 are added to make water conducting electricity. You might have noted that when copper powder is heated in china dish, the surface of the copper powder become coated with a black color substance. First, how has this black color substance formated? What is the black substance? Copper reacts with oxygen in the is to form copper oxide, which is black, that is oxidation of copper take place. Next, write the chemical reaction of the reaction that take place. So the chemical reaction is Cu plus oxygen forms copper oxide. Next, an aqueous solution of metal nitrate P reacts with sodium bromide solution to form yellow precipitation compound Q, which is used in photography. Q on exposure to sunlight undergoes decomposition reaction to form metal present in along with a reddish brown gas. Identify P and Q. Write a balanced chemical equation for the chemical reaction. List two categories in which this reaction can be placed. First, P is silver nitrate, which is AgNO3, and Q is silver bromide, which is AgBr. Second, AgNO3, which is silver nitrate, and silver and sodium bromide reacts to form silver bromide plus sodium nitrate plus 2AgBr forms Ag plus Br. The decomposition of silver bromide can be put under two categories: A. Decomposition reaction, or photochemical reaction. Next, write balanced chemical equation for the reaction that take place during respiration. Identify the type of combination reaction that take place during this process and justify the name. Give one more example of this type of reaction. So first, the carbohydrates that we take in our food are oxidized to carbon dioxide and water, which is 6C, C6H12O6 plus oxygen forms CO2 plus H2O. Carbon of carbohydrates and oxygen combine to form CO2. Second, it is an exothermic combination reaction. Third, decomposition of vegetable matter into compost is another example of this type of reaction. Next, take 3 grams of barium hydroxide in a test tube. Now add amount 2 grams of ammonium chloride and mix the content with the help of a glass rod. Now touch the test tube from outside. What do you feel on the test tube? Second, state the interference about the type of reaction occur. Third, write the balanced chemical equation of the reaction involved. First, the test tube become hot. Second, it is a decomposition reaction. Third, ammonium chloride plus barium hydroxide form barium chloride plus NH3 plus H2O. Next, name the substance oxidized and reduced and also identify the oxidizing agent and reducting agent in the following reaction. First, Fe2O3 plus 3CO forms iron plus carbon dioxide. Here, ferrous oxide is reduced because oxygen has been reduced, and carbon monoxide is oxide because oxygen has been added to it. Ferrous oxide has acted as an oxidizing agent and Cu has acted as a reducting agent. Second, manganese oxide plus aluminum for manganese plus aluminum oxide. Here manganese oxide is reduced because O has been removed from it to give manganese. Al has been oxidized because O has been added to it obtain aluminum oxide. MnO2 is the oxidizing agent while Al is a reducing agent. Next, classify the following chemical reaction as exothermic or endothermic. First, water is added to quicklime. Exothermic. Dilute sulfuric acid is added to zinc granules. Exothermic. When ammonium chloride is dissolved in water in a test tube, it becomes colder. Endothermic. The decomposition of vegetable matter into compost. Endothermic. Electrolysis of water. Endothermic. Next, complete and balance the following equation. NH3 plus O2 forms M so NH3 plus O2, which forms nitrogen oxide plus water. Second, sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid forms sodium sulfate plus water. Third, lead nitrate plus Ki forms lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. Next, you must have tasted or smelled the fat containing food material left for a long time. Such food tastes and smell bad. What is the reason for this? Name the phenomena responsible for it. Write two measures for its preservation. Food material left out for a long time is oxidized by atmospheric oxygen. This changes the smell and taste of the food. Measures for prevention are: keep the food in airtight container. Second, flush the food packets with nitrogen gas before sealing it. Next, name the type of chemical reaction represented by the following equation. So, this is the decomposition reaction, which is CaCO3 forms CaO plus CO2. Next, this is a combination reaction, that is CaO plus H2O forms calcium hydroxide. Third, zinc plus zinc plus sulfuric acid forms zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. This is a displacement reaction. Next, write chemical equation for the reaction taking place when magnesium reacts with dilute HNO3, that is nitric acid. So magnesium reacts with nitric acid to form magnesium nitrate plus hydrogen gas. Second, sodium reacts with water. Sodium reacts with water to form sodium hydroxide plus H2. Zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid to form ZnCl plus H2. Decomposition reaction require energy either in the form of heat or light or electricity for breaking down the reactants. Write one equation each for decomposition reaction where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light and electricity. So, energy supply in the form of heat is when calcium hydroxide is broken down into calcium oxide plus water. Second, energy supplied in the form of light is when silver chloride is broken down to form silver plus chlorine. Third, energy supplied in the form of electricity is when water is broken down to hydrogen and oxygen. Can we stir silver nitrate solution with a copper spoon? Why or why not? Support your answer. So we cannot stir silver nitrate with a copper spoon. Copper being more reactive than silver displaces silver from the silver nitrate. This is a reaction will take place. Second, why a brown coating is formed on the iron rod when iron rod is kept dipped in a copper sulfate solution for a long time. Iron being more reactive than copper displaces copper from copper sulfate by the following reaction, which is iron plus copper sulfate forms iron sulfate plus copper. Brown coating of copper is deposited on the iron rod. Color of the solution becomes green due to the formation of ferrous sulfate. Third, a green coating develops on the copper vessel in the rainy season. Why? Copper reacts with moist carbon dioxide in the air in rainy season and a green coating is formed. This is due to the formation of copper carbonate. Next, account for the following. White silver chloride turn gray in sunlight. Silver chloride turn gray on exposure to sunlight because of the following reaction, that is, when AgCl is heated it forms Ag plus Cl. Next, brown colored copper powder on heating in air turns black into colored substance. Oxidation of copper powder takes place. The oxide form has a black color. 2Cu plus O2 forms CEO. What do you mean by the displacement reaction? The reaction in which a more reactive element displaces the least reactive element from its compound are called displacement reaction. Reduction reaction, the reaction in which hydrogen is added or oxygen is removed or gain of electron takes place. Combination reaction, the reaction in which two or more element or compound combine together to form a single compound are called combination reaction. Next, what is balanced chemical equation? Why should the chemical equation be balanced? B. Write the chemical equation of the reaction in which the following changes has taken place. First, change in color. A chemical equation in which the total mass of the reactant is equal to the total mass of the product is called balanced chemical equation. It may also be defined as a chemical equation in which the number of atoms of each element is equal to the reactants side as well as the product side. It is only after balancing the chemical equation that we can find out how much of each product will be formed for certain quantity of the reactant. Chemical equation corresponding to different changes are given below. A. Change in color. Fe plus CuSO4 forms FeSO4 plus Cu. Change in temperature. Calcium oxide plus water forms calcium hydroxide plus heat. Formation of precipitate. Barium chloride plus sodium sulfate from barium sulfate plus sodium chloride. Next, literate an activity to show that a change in state of matter and change in temperature take place during a chemical reaction. Take about 5 kg of quick lime in a beaker and add to it about 50 ml of water. A brick reaction takes place and a lot of heat is evolved. Second, write the balanced chemical equation for the following reaction. A. Na plus burns and combines with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. So CH4 plus oxygen forms CO2 plus H2O. Second, ferrous sulfate crystals on heating break up into ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So ferrous sulfate dot 7H2O after heating forms ferrous oxide plus sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide plus 14H2O, which is water. Balance the chemical equation. Sodium hydroxide plus sulfuric acid forms sodium sulfate plus H2O. So sodium hydroxide plus H2O H2SO4 forms Na2CO4. Next, Pb lead oxide plus carbon forms lead plus carbon dioxide. So next, ferrous oxide plus aluminium form a aluminium oxide plus Fe plus heat. Next, write the balanced chemical equation of the following reaction. Barium chloride plus potassium sulfate forms barium sulfate. So BaCl2 plus K2SO4 forms BaSO4 plus KCl. Next, zinc plus silver nitrate forms zinc nitrate plus silver, that is Zn plus AgNO3 forms ZnNO3 whole 2 plus Ag.